It was a little different than it is now in that Catholic had to wait until we started recruiting and having more talent. You got Joe Fisher, the best that the DC schools had to offer. You had Phil Homan show up, and a kid from Rahway, New Jersey, Jim Blackburn, good friend. Of all the guys that are going into the Hall of Fame, ironically, he had probably the best credentials as an individual, and yet he was the slowest of all of us. But someone forgot to tell Blackburn that.
One of the real funny things about track guys is that you have to really hate losing. I would say each of us was right on the border between being a gracious loser and being a bad sport.
Whether it's Phil Homan, whether it's Kevin Keating, whether it's Blackburn, Mark Robinson, Clarence Musgrove, anytime we interchanged and ran together, let me tell you, it was serious.
We were running track every weekend, so a lot of the campus activities we were not able to partake in, which may have been good.
It was all about being a student athlete, not just an athlete. And Coach McGee reinforced that very well. We had to get up and be at practice 6 o'clock in the morning. Then to be at class 8 o'clock in the morning, and then we come back at 4:30 for practice. Hopefully you finish up in time to make it to the dining hall. And a young lady that's here today, Willie, she'll tell you, because she would always be trying to make sure you all better hurry up and get in here, you won't have a meal, you know.
Coach McGee and Coach Schaefer trained us very hard. He was very serious at the time.
It was brutal. You had to do it yourself. You could sometimes do that under the eye of a coach, but if you're a distance runner or middle distance runner, he couldn't be there all the time when you're going out to run 5, 10 miles.
Jimmy and Kevin and Joe, we were all on relays together, and that also brings together the team because you're rooting for your teammate. You're not really competing against them, and you're working to help each other get better.
It was always encouraging and supporting one another in terms of academically as well. Coach McGee never allowed us to believe that we had reached our potential. He always kept us humble. And because of that, we got better. And because of that, we became All-Americans. Because of that, we kept striving to get better.
I think what it took away from running all those years at Catholic was understanding what personal discipline could yield. You're going to pay the price, and there was a price to pay, but the end result would be there if you could discipline yourself and do it.
With track, you have to finish. Not who is in the lead at the halfway mark, it's who's in the lead at the finish, you know. I've always prided myself on delivery excellence, you know, and I learned that through track.
Since that time, even after we graduated, we still share those moments. We reflect on those moments in terms of how track and field helped us to become resilient in the life that we're experiencing today.
I had this framed about 30 years ago. This is Mark Robinson, me, Joe Fisher, Kevin Keating, and Richie Schaefer. And the picture was taken after we took first place in the Millrose Games in Madison Square Garden. Everybody has ups and downs, but I look at the whole of my life and I think God's been very good to you. You've been very blessed. And probably one of the greatest blessings was attending Catholic University, meeting the people that I met, having the experiences that I had, and then having that influence or affect me for the positive the rest of my whole life. Couldn't ask for anything better.
When I first got the call that I was going into the Hall of Fame, the first thing that hit my mind is, how am I going to tell these other guys? Because I wasn't told that they were going in as well, you know?
Aside from those who were running under the big lights, there was the guys who almost made it with us and were back home that we trained with all the time. And they were the guys freezing with us in the dark and the cold. We were only there because of those guys. It was the guys, I guess, that drove it for me. And still, years and years later, those athletes and my teammates who are closest with, and meant that much to me back then, and to this day still does.
We all have those core values in common. We really believe in helping others. We believe in encouraging people to help each other keep moving forward.
All of my memories of Catholic are good. And I just feel very blessed that I was able to go to Catholic, graduate, and run track, be competitive, and also have run with the guys that I ran with. Just blessed.
They're like brothers to me. Do anything for them, and I think they would do anything for me. Like, I love those guys, and I know that they love me. I can't even imagine what life would have been like without them.
I can never fall out of love with these guys because I understand each one's gift. I know what they can do, and I know what I can do to help them. And that's what makes us a team.